I do think that children are the future.
Your entire deal is being a piece of shit really loudly. So why can't other people be normal loudly?
Well,
I don't care.
No, guys, respect this First Amendment, man. It's fine. But this is the package that I'm talking about.
Myron Gaines goes off in this debate. And no, this isn't about being mean. It's about truth versus chaos. In this clip, Myron Gaines calls out a loud gay feminist meltdown hiding behind normalcy and the First Amendment while trying to defend modern hookup culture and excuse bad behavior. And Myron Gaines isn't having it. He shuts it down, exposes the double standard, and forces the real question. Why is being reckless celebrated, but being responsible attacked? This is Myron Gaines breaking the matrix in real time. Let's get into it.
What's up?
Hi, I was just curious. What do you think is the benefit of using words like whore to describe women? Like, who is that actually benefiting here? Besides yourself for, riling up a bunch of people for your own personal benefit.
Well, I would say the word whore is kind of funny. I've seen a couple people laughing, so I think that's who we benefit. And I think tone policing and, being politically correct, that's what's led to a lot of the problems that we have now in society. So I think sometimes people just need to be candid, and if that means being a bit offensive to do it so that you could be memorable, I think it's worth it.
What problems specifically do you think are caused by not being respectful to other people?
What problems are created by not being respectful?
Yes. Like, if you're using slurs to describe people, I would not call that respectful. What problems are caused by not being respectful here?
Well,
what problems are caused by being respectful here?
Well, here's the thing. The reality is we live in a very, how do I say this? We live in a TikTok world. And what I mean by that is you only have a little bit of time to get people's attention to really get a message across. So sometimes you need to break the silence or break the OODA loop that people are in the swipe thing. And sometimes you have to speak in a polarizing manner to get people's attention. So I'd rather, if I say something like, yeah, women need to stop being dumb bitches and whores, but, oh my God, this guy's crazy. And then I can go ahead and expand on why feminism is a problem, why guys need to go into relationships with their eyes wide open, why the family courts are set up in a position to destroy you, etc. So being polarizing is very important to getting a message across in, in an era where a lot of people have low attention spans, etc.
Okay, so if you're in personal benefit.
Actually, it benefits the person that's listening a lot of the times.
Disagree there.
I mean, I have thousands of guys that write me that say, hey, I was going to kill myself and I decided not to after watching your content. I'll actually tell you a quick little story. One time, a guy said he wanted to end it all because his life was miserable, and he found a nice little tree that had a good view of the sunset, right? And he was going to, hang himself. And what ended up happening is he was surfing YouTube one day, and he found one of my videos where I talking about not being a simp, taking responsibility, every guy can increase their sexual market value, etc. The guy's alive today, has a family, makes 6 figures, and he said it's because he found that video that he canceled the day that he was going to kill himself, and he has a family now. So to me, I look at it like if I got to call some women whores for that, so guys can wake up and realize that, there's another way, I think it's worth it.
Your sign says transgenderism is a mental illness.
Yes.
How many people do you think that has made a little bit more want to kill themselves?
You mean like trannies that want to kill themselves?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. They already had a mental illness. Me telling them they have a mental illness doesn't change anything. They've already had these problems.
That seems a bit circular, but...
Yeah, they have way
seems
bigger
a bit circular to say that somebody...
They have way bigger problems than me calling them fucking insane, dude. They got way bigger problems.
If someone calls you a name and you want to kill yourself,
if you weren't calling them insane and you just let them be people and we didn't have to make this an issue, do you think that they would still want to?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying I hate trannies. I'm not saying that we need to get rid of them or whatever. I'm just saying that they have a mental illness and they shouldn't be around children. That's my biggest thing. Is I don't think hell, I'll take it a step further. I don't even think gay men should be around children. I don't think they should be allowed to adopt kids. And if I had my way, I would put gays in their own part of town. And the reason why...
Love to hear that. Love to hear that.
Well, I'll go ahead and expand on this. I don't think children should be exposed to homosexuality at all. I don't.
What do you think I'm gonna do here?
Huh?
What do you think I'm gonna do here?
What do you mean you do? Here?
Yeah. What do you think the gays are gonna do to the children exactly?
Well, okay. So my thing is, I don't like public displays of affection, right? I don't like PDA, even between heterosexual people. I don't think it's appropriate in front of children, especially. So my thing is I think gays need to go back in the closet. We don't want to know you're gay. We don't need the flamboyant, parade marches and everything else like that. And if you want to go ahead and have your gay clubs and make out and do all the other degenerate stuff, no problem. Just do it in your own area, and I don't think kids should be seeing it at all, because I do think that children are the future.
Your entire deal is being a piece of shit really loudly. So why can't other people be normal loudly?
Well, he's butthurt.
I don't care.
Butthurt, soy boy.
No, guys, respect this First Amendment, man. It's fine. But this is the package that I'm talking about. Anyway, so we got to combat this, guys. But it's cool because we can have a discussion, right? It's very important to have these discussions. So thank you for being up here.
Of course.
Again, I think, so my worldview is this. Children are the future. Children need to be protected. And if that means that we need to do certain things in society to protect said children, I'm willing to do that. So I don't think it's appropriate for gays and lesbians and other people that are sexually degenerate to be around children and or even be able to adopt them. I think that's a problem, right? If they want to become an adult and then they want to learn about homosexuality and everything else like that later on, that's fine. But they can do that when they're an adult and their brain is fully developed, so they can kind of have their own worldview. But I don't think it's fair to children when they're still developing, still going through life, etc., to see these things. So that is a big reason why I have the worldviews I have when it comes to trannies and gays. I don't think kids should ever be exposed to that. I think rainbow flags should be completely banned. I think if it was up to me, I'd put gays in their own little part of town where they can go ahead and practice homosexuality openly. They can do their parades, everything like that. But then when they come into regular society, we don't want to see any of that.
Guys, let me know down below if you agree with Myron Gaines. His idea of basically separating the gays off into their own little part of town and just having that kind of divide between normal society and their society. Because a part of me, I understand the sentiment, the part where, the parades they have in San Francisco and how the queer stuff just absolutely is literally everywhere. You've got it in the schools. You've got, teachers pushing this. This is an ideology that has been pushed on children intentionally in the media, in the culture, in the educational system. And you've been told you are a bigot and, you're shamed if you ever even question any of this. I do think it's messed up. I don't think kids should be anywhere around it. You get these drag queens out of this, whatever story hour that they do in the schools or whatever. Get rid of all that crap. It has no place around children. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video.
I guess the last question. Do you think that that's protecting parents from having to deal with the fact that their kids aren't cishet? Or do you think that it's like, I guess here's the point. How is that protecting the kids? Because presumably some of those kids are going to be trans or gay, and if you're spending all of this time trying to make sure that they don't know about trans or gay people, then they're just going to think that there's a problem with themselves. And that's not very fun for anybody. I don't think it is. I don't want anybody to feel that way. So why should we be trying to make other people feel worse about themselves for no fucking reason?
Sure. Well, number one, kids can barely wipe their ass properly. They don't know if they're gay or not. You know what I mean? They don't know anything, right? And I'll give you guys an example. Every single one of us here probably grew up with like that one girl who's a fucking tomboy. She always wants to play basketball and hang out and play Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it is. I'm showing my age here. Maybe Magic the Gathering. I don't know. But she grows up, and I want to be around the boys. What ends up happening? She turns 18, then all of a sudden she's a girl again, right? She's like wearing dresses, she's being pretty, etc. And you're like, what the hell happened? Okay. Well, imagine if she had said, I think I'm a boy. And then she goes ahead and gets transitioned and fucks her life up, right? But she grew up out of that and realized, no, I'm a girl. So kids don't know anything, and I don't think we should be deferring to them based on what they think they feel or their sexuality or whatever. It's like, she's like, oh, I'm a boy. No, you're not, bitch. You're a girl. And then boom, she grows up and she'll end up thanking you for not, transitioning her. So I don't think children should be making those types of decisions whatsoever because they can ruin their life in the process.
I think it's a bit weird to use the word children for people that are like usually at least well into their teenage years. But
I don't even think in their teenage years they should be able to make that decision.
What about at 18? What's your opinion there?
Well, at that point,
out of curiosity.
yeah, at that point, maybe there could be a conversation. But I think when they're still kids and teenagers, they don't know anything. All of us. I'm 35 now, and I'm showing my age here. But looking back, I'm like, wow, my parents were right about a lot of stuff. It takes a significant amount of time for people to look back and realize, like, oh, they were right, or oh, I was wrong here. So I do think that 18 is like the bare minimum where we can even entertain this conversation. But even then, I still think people aren't developed enough a lot of the times.
Do you think that people know that they're straight or cis by the time they're 18?
Well, that goes on a case by case. But I don't think you're case by case, I'd say.
Okay.
But I'd say the majority of the time they're probably straight.
I don't think we're going to get in here anyway after this. So thank you.
No problem.
Just wanted to talk for a little bit.
Here's the real takeaway. For better or worse, these conversations have to happen. You don't fix society by shutting people down. You fix it by confronting ideas head on, understanding what the other side believes, and forcing real solutions to the surface. That's what adults do. But the modern left can't handle that pressure. They get offended, agitated, emotionally overwhelmed, and the discussion collapses. And until hard conversations happen, nothing improves. Civilization doesn't move forward by outrage loops. It moves forward by plans, agreements, and accountability. Drop your take in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Matrix Breakdown.